Hello, everyone. On today's podcast episode, I'm going to talk about AI and, people being afraid of AI because, what I've noticed is that I know many people disagree, and it's natural to disagree with me when it comes to AI or many things, that I've spoken about. It's not just to disagree with me on anything that I talk about. No one, no one's supposed to agree with you on everything. It's just how life works. There will always be people who agree with you, no matter what it is. Even if it's something that makes logical sense, there will always be people who agree with you and people who disagree with you. Whether what you're saying makes logical sense or not, it doesn't matter. There will always be people who disagree with you. It's just how life works. The world works that way. So I'm going to talk about AI and why I don't think there's anything wrong with AI. You know, Many people are so afraid of AI. AI is replacing jobs. AI is taking over this business. AI is taking over that business. Well, that's how life works. Life is not going to stand still for you. If you're someone who's afraid of AI, just know that life is not going to stand still for you. Life is always changing. The future is always changing. You have no control over the future. This is why, when you live life, you always have to plan for when things go wrong. You don't just live life randomly expecting that everything will always work out. Everything will never always work out. That's how life works. The basic definition of life is being able to adapt to your environment. If you can't adapt to your environment and the change of life, the changes in the environment, if you can't change with the environment, you will go extinct. That's just basic, that's just basic science. If you can't adapt to change, you will go extinct. If you can't change with the world, the changes will consume you. I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm just telling you this to be cautious. Life does not go the way you want, and that's how life works. If you're someone who expects to control life and expect the future to go exactly the way you want, guess what? You have no control over the future. You have no control over the future. The more you try to control the future, the more your life gets worse. The more you ruin your life. Stop trying to control the future. Try to control yourself. Try to make sure your life, no matter what happens in the future, you'll still be fine. Make sure your life is okay, whether the future changes or not. You're the one that's supposed to adapt to life. The world isn't going to adapt to you. The world around you is not going to change to benefit you. You have to change to benefit yourself. When the world changes, you should change with it. If you can't change with it, guess what? The fact of life states that you can't change with the world, you die. All the stress that comes with, change will consume you. This is how life works. I'm not the one that controls life. Just ask God. He's the one that has this whole thing set up. That's how life works. If you're not someone who's bendable, who's changeable, who's fluid, who knows, how to correct his own mistakes. When you make mistakes, right? Your job is to correct it. If you can't change, if you're incapable of changing yourself when things go bad, don't blame God for it. Blame yourself. Stop expecting the future to be perfect. Stop expecting everything to go exactly the way you want it to go. It won't. It's just how life works. Life will never go the way you want it to go. And that's how you should expect the future to be. That's how, when you make plans, you should make plans knowing full well that life will never go the way you want it to go. If you make plans, you always make backups. And then you make backups of backups. You make backup plans in case something doesn't work out. They make backup plans in case the backup plan doesn't work out. That's how you should plan your life. Do not look for, the whole world to just bend and mold themselves to fit your desires. Back in the days, right? Before cars were invented, we used to drive on horse-drawn carriages, right? Guess what? When cars were invented, the people back then also had the same issues that you had. Technology was going too fast. Now all the people who was, all the farmers who created, who reared horses, now they're out of jobs. All the farmers who reared horses are now out of jobs because the car was created. Are you going to blame the person who created the car, the automobile, for creating the automobile because all these farmers are now out of jobs? All these horse-drawn carriages, businesses will soon be out of jobs because of the car? Or are you going to just accept the fact that, yes, technology is improving, life is improving in general. We're making life easier for everybody. If horse-drawn carriages don't work for the people, horse-drawn carriages don't work. We can't lower, we can't bring society backwards just to please you. Society will not stay still just to please you. We like cars more than we like horse-drawn carriages. Horse-drawn carriages, the horses poop everywhere, and the whole street starts to smell. The horses need to drink water constantly. The horses, aren't fully under their owner's control. The owners have to take care of those horses, feed them, clean their poop. All these dirty things that they have to do on a daily basis just to maintain a horse. Just to make sure that horse-drawn carriages work fine. They have to feed the horses on a daily basis. They have to make sure, when the horses are sick, take them to to a vet to help it, help the horse heal. We don't want to deal with that. People do not want to deal with horse-drawn carriages. You can't force people to drive horse-drawn carriages because you'll be out of a job. You can't force the whole world to go back in time just because you'll be out of a job. It's not your job to control the world. Control yourself. If you're an owner of a horse-drawn carriage, right? Find a different business. You can still do horse-drawn carriages, but market it differently. Market it for, it's your business. There's many ways to make money. There's still horse-drawn carriages till today. If you go out of business, it's because you can't change. Stop expecting the world to change for you. If you go out of business as a horse-drawn carriage owner, it's because you don't know how to run your business properly. You're not, you never factored in the fact that cars will be invented. That that horse-drawn carriages will have no value in the future. Or that, it won't be as valuable as it used to be. This is how life works. You can't force the whole world to start driving horse-drawn carriages just because, you'll be out of a job because cars are invented. And this is what's happening right now. There are many artists and people who want the world, to delete AI, who wants everyone to destroy AI just so that society will go back in time where they have a job. They get to keep their job. Or they get to, keep their businesses, without a slightest care in the world. They don't want society to progress. They don't want life to be easier for everyone. They just want money. They'd rather have their money than, make the life easier for everyone. AI makes life easier for many people. There's so many people now who, there's so many businesses created just from that alone. There's so many businesses that need, artists to draw a lot of things for them. There's so many things that AI, accomplishes for businesses. You don't know how many businesses, will be created just from this whole AI thing alone. And that's how cars work. When the horse-drawn carriages, went out of business, guess what? Countless more businesses came out of cars. So many car companies, came out of, cars, the automobile industry. So many car companies came out of the car industry. So many people made a lot of money. There are many horse-drawn carriage companies, right, that decided to abandon their horse-drawn business and started building cars. They had enough money, in their bank account to buy blueprints, to buy, to hire engineers to help them develop their own cars as well, because they planned for the future. Horse-drawn carriages owners who had money stacked up in their bank accounts knowing full well that at some point in time, horse-drawn carriages will be useless. Because they knew horse-drawn carriages would be useless, they saved up money. And when automobiles were invented, guess what? They invested in the automobile industry, or they invested their money elsewhere. They didn't go bankrupt. If you're someone who can't change with the future, you will go bankrupt. If you're a business who can't change with the future, do not blame the future. Blame yourself. You're the one who can't think that your company will go bankrupt in the future, that your customers will find something better. Yes, in the future, your customer will find something better, and you need to plan for that. You need to plan for when things go wrong. If you don't plan for when things go wrong, you're a bad business person. If you don't plan for when things go wrong, you're a bad business owner. And that's how life works. The AI industry creates a lot more jobs than you can possibly imagine. The AI industry is obviously more beneficial for the world than you can possibly imagine. Many companies no longer have to hire personal artists. You think that's bad, but that's good. The artists themselves, artists now have to look for a different job, right? Guess what? The job an artist can look for is what? Helping AI, businesses create good AI images. Do you think it's easy to create an AI image? Do you think it's easy to create an AI website? Even till this day, AI still suffers with a lot of glitches. You still need help from people to create to create AI images and AI websites and AI products. You still need help to this day. There are many people, right? Many business owners that have no idea how AI works. If you're an artist, right, and you still want to make money in this industry, become an AI artist. Find different ways to make money. There are new industries being created using from AI right now. If you can't change with the times, do not blame the times. Blame yourself. You're incapable of changing. The world will always change around you. Stop trying to force the world not to change. It is impossible for you to force the world not to change. Completely impossible. No matter what you do, the world will change. The people who do not want AI to progress are the same. Let me use this analogy for you. The people who do not want AI to progress are the type of people who, when you're racing, right, they'll rather make sure that everyone who's racing with them dies than for them to run faster. In order for them to win, instead of competing fairly, right, they rather break the legs of everyone around them. That way they don't have to run to the finish line. Just so that they can win the medal for free, they rather break the legs of everyone around them. That way they don't have to run to the finish line. That way they can walk to the finish line at their own leisure and still win. They want everything handed to them without effort. That's the mindset of someone who doesn't like AI. They don't want the world to change. They want the world to be exactly the way they want it to be. They want money to come to them without effort. They don't want to work hard. They don't want to think hard. So when the world changes, they just give up on life. They give up on life because they weren't smart enough to think, to be farsighted, to know that in the future, things, you have no control over the future. Make plans knowing that. You make plans knowing you have no control over the future. You set up money, in your bank account. You save up any amount of money you can get because you know the future is not under your control. You don't just waste all your money and expect, things to just happen because, hey, I'm an artist, right? I'm an artist. I'm a picture artist. I'm an image artist, and I've been making so much money from this art for years now. I've been making money creating art for years. So every time I make money, I just spend it. Every time I make money, I just spend it. And now AI was invented. AI is invented. Now people rather just pay other people to use AI to generate the images than pay me because that costs too much. I cost too much money to hire. And that's, but the problem is them. If they had saved enough money when they had, when things were going great, they won't have to suffer now. They would have found a different way. They would have enough money to find a different way. There are many businesses now that require people who knows how to, who know how to, navigate the whole AI world. There are a lot of AI businesses being created on a daily basis. New industries are being created on a daily basis. Are you going to stop the future? What about the people who now depend on AI? What about the children right now who've been studying AI for years now and want to become an AI artist? Are you going to make them go bankrupt for the old artists? Who's more important to you? The old artists who draw normally, or the new artists who use AI to create new masterpieces? Yes, there are AI artists right now who spend years, who's been spending years working on AI images. They know the perfect prompt. They know exactly how to get, the perfect image every time. There are new businesses being created, just like there were new businesses being created for, the automobile industry, the car industry. There are new businesses being created for the AI industry right now. If you can't change to those new businesses, if you can't change your business model, the problem isn't the fact that the world is changing. The problem is you. Because even till this day, there's still people who ride in horse-drawn carriages. If you're a horse-drawn carriage owner, your business hasn't been deleted from the world. It's still there. You just have to find a new way to market it. If you're a regular artist, your business hasn't been deleted from the world. It's still there. You just have to be a smart business owner and change with the times. There's still people who like hand-drawn artists over digital artists. There are people who like them more. There are people who do not like AI images. And there will still be people in the future who do not like AI images. You still have people who will buy your products. Stop fearing that, the whole world will change and no one will buy your products. You just have to change the way you market your business. You just have to change the target audience of your business. Stop fearing that the world is over. Change with the world. Change your business strategy. Change that's how life works. Your business can't just, you can't just expect that your business will just always be, everything will always be going well for your business. It's not possible. Life changes. Life and people change. Your customers will change. Their mindset will change as time goes on. Their desire for your product will change as time goes on. Sometimes they'll want your product, and at other times they're too distracted by other things in life to really care about your product. That's how life works. You have to plan for when no one cares about your product. As a business owner, you have to plan for when no one cares about your product. As a worker, you have to plan for when your business, your job no longer wants you there. You have to have, you have to plan you have to save for when you get fired from your job. You can't just work your job expecting that the job will keep you there forever. They won't. Jobs rarely ever keep a customer there forever. Even if the job keeps you there forever, would you be willing to work that job forever for the rest of your life? Do you know how many times people have changed, the job, the people you work for or you work with, right? The owners change in the job. The owners of a job change, and now you have a rude boss, an evil boss, or your coworkers change. Many of your coworkers get fired. Some of them just quit. Some of them retire. And now everyone around you is different, and you no longer want to work there. You have to plan for that. For when you no longer want to work there. You have to plan for your life. You can't just allow things to just happen to you. If you don't plan for your future, when things change, guess what? It'll break you. That's how life works. If you can't change with the world will break you. If you're not fluid enough to know that things will not go as planned, the world will break you. The problem isn't AI. The problem is you. You have to change with the world. Your mindset has to change. AI isn't ruining your life. AI isn't destroying the world. AI is creating new job opportunities for people who've never had jobs before. People who never, who would have been stuck working a 9 to 5, right? Can now become their own business owners because of AI. This is how life works. The old jobs, when a new invention is created, right? The old jobs that depend on, the old way of life go, go bankrupt, while a whole new generation, a whole new field of businesses come up from that invention alone. This is how life works. Things always change. Old businesses die out and new businesses come up. This is just the basic facts of life. Change is a basic fact of life. You can't force the world to be static. You can't force the world to be static. You can't force the world to be in the Middle Ages just because you don't like, because the people who used to build stone houses or stone tools will go out of business because electrical tools have been invented. All the people who've been building stone tools in the past will go out of business. So you don't want anyone to go out of business, right? So you don't want all the electrical tools, electrical gadgets that make the world easier to live in. You want them out of your life because you don't want people who create stone tools to go out of business. That's your mindset. You don't want hospitals, to develop cure for cancer, right? Because the people there are businesses who make money, prolonging cancer. What do you call it? The hospitals who make money just giving you pills to help you, keep your cancer dormant. Because all these people will go out of business if you create a cure for cancer. You don't want a cure for cancer to be created. That's your mindset. You don't want society to progress because you lose money. But yet the thing that this AI business, this AI invention makes life easier for the rest of humanity, for all of humanity together. So why don't you want humanity to live a better life just because you run out of business? You go out of business. You don't want the cure of cancer to be invented because many hospitals will go out of business because they can no longer, treat cancer, endlessly for the rest of their lives, knowing full well it will never be cured. There are many businesses, many hospitals who make money just from, just on trying to, maintain your cancer to make sure it doesn't grow. They're not trying to cure it, just want to make sure it doesn't grow. And they make a lot of money from that. There are many patients with cancer that, go to hospitals. They just, they just need some sort of medication to hold the cancer from growing. And there are many people who make money from that, from keeping the cancer dormant. Instead of curing it, just keeping it dormant is all they need. Instead of curing the disease, there are many hospitals who can just keep the disease dormant, and they make a lot of money for it. So do you not want the cure for the disease because all these hospitals will go bankrupt once the cure for a disease comes out? Would you rather have people die from cancer than find a cure because a lot of people go bankrupt from it? Is that your mindset, that you don't want society to progress? You don't want humanity to live a better life just because you yourself will be out of a job? You care more about yourself than the world in general. You don't know how freeing it is for countless businesses all over the world to not have to be dependent on one artist, just one or two artists that are very good at their job. Do you know how many businesses have failed because they don't have the right images? Just from that alone, they don't have the right images, they don't have the right tools, they don't have the right software, they don't have the right video, for their business. They don't have the right website for their business. And AI can create those websites for them. They don't need to search around for one person who may be too tired to do the job, who may ask for too much money. Some businesses do not have enough money to be paying some of these artists. Some of these artists, that do a great job require like $15,000 to $20,000 just for one art. Just for a very beautiful art, you have to spend $5,000 paying artists $5,000 just to create a set of good art. Businesses could go bankrupt just from that alone. How many businesses have gone bankrupt just from that alone? So if you don't want society to improve, the problem isn't society, it's you. A lot of businesses require AI right now. A lot of people require AI right now. A lot of teenagers who have no ability to draw and no ability to pay you money to draw for them need AI to create images. These children could be starting their own businesses right now, but they don't have the money to do it. But with the help of AI, they can start their businesses at home at a young age. Tinker with AI to create a business that can become the future of humanity. If you get rid of AI, you're getting rid of all the possibilities, all the future possibilities, all the future investments of humanity. You're getting rid of all of it. There's so many benefits to having AI in this world. So many benefits, even for you. Stop looking down on AI just because you won't make a lot more money, you won't make as much money in the future. Guess what? If you don't know how to market your business, you go bankrupt anyways. Because guess what? You're afraid of AI creating images better than you, right? Guess what? There are already many people in this world who create images better than you. Yes, there are people in this world who will still take your business in the future. If you can't change, the world will still change without your help. If you can't change, the world will change for you. And that's how life works. You have no control over the future. Whether you try to destroy AI or not, whether you look down on AI artists or not, AI brings a lot of benefits to the world. I know you as a stone tool creator, as a business who creates stone tools, will never want electrical tools to be invented. As a business who create lanterns, right? You would never want the light bulb to be invented. You hate the light bulb, but yet we need the light bulb because it's better. It's way better than a lantern. A lantern gets too hot. A lantern gets too hot when you touch it, and it can fall and break. There's so many downsides to a lantern. There are too many downsides to a lantern, and there are too many upsides to a light bulb. Electricity is far better than just stone and fire. So if we prefer using electricity over regular stone and fire, guess what? You have no control over it. If we prefer using AI over you, guess what? You have no control over it. If AI is better, if the light bulb is better for humanity, if AI is better for humanity, why are we, trying to get rid of AI? Why are we trying to get rid of the light bulb? Why are we trying to get rid of electricity? Because a lot of companies will go bankrupt because electricity was invented. Because of the invention of electricity, a lot of companies will go bankrupt. So does that mean we shouldn't, invent electricity? Should we try to destroy all electrical companies in this world because a lot of companies will go bankrupt? Is that your mindset? Is that what you want in this world? For the world to go, to go back to the Stone Ages, just because you go out of business? It's your fault if you go out of business. You haven't planned for your future. If you don't plan for your future and the future changes, do not blame the future. Blame yourself. Everyone knows the future will change. It's a fact. The future will always change. The future is not under your control. So stop trying to control it. Stop behaving as if you have it all figured out. You don't. You have no control over the future. So you can only make, plans knowing full well you have no control over the future. Make backup plans. Save money. Save money for when the future changes. And you will never be stuck in, where you are right now. If you didn't make, save money, find different ways. You can still change. Become an AI artist. It's possible. There are many businesses that have no idea how AI works. You can help teach them. You can create perfect AI images for them. You can change. You can create AI music. If you're a music artist and you think no one likes your music because of AI, guess what? No one is stopping you from using AI. You can create AI images. If you don't want to create AI images, guess what? In this world filled with digital art, right? There's still people who buy regular art. In this world filled with digital music, there's still people who listen to what do you call it? Trombones and baritones and regular instruments. The world of regular instruments is still booming. Just because electronic music has been created, digital songs have been created, did not make the trombone and all these other physical instruments disappear. There's still people going to operas till this day. There's still people going to musicals to this day. Going to orchestras to this day. When why do you think your business would just disappear? Just because AI music is there, people are starting to create AI music or people are starting to create AI on websites. People still need you to create regular websites. Some people prefer talking to regular people. Some people prefer dealing with regular people, when they do businesses. Some people prefer hand-drawn art over digital art. Some people prefer um, orchestral music, physical music, like, classical music over the digital music that, we play today. Some people do not know anything about, Eminem and all these, artists, Taylor Swift. Some people do not know any of these artists. They do not know any of the artists that you know today. They only know Mozart and all these old artists, artists from history. They only know classical music artists. They don't know anything about all the normal artists that we have today. Because that's the type of music they prefer. Your audience hasn't disappeared. Your customer base hasn't disappeared. They're still there. If you can market your business properly, people will still come to your business. The AI industry has not stopped your business in any way, shape, or form. You have to find a way to market your business to people. Stop trying to force people to come to your business by destroying AI. If you're not smart enough, you don't know how to market your business to people, it's not AI's fault that no one wants to be, wants to shop at your business. No one wants to, bring customers to your doorstep. You have to force customers down to your, you have to advertise to the customers that come, that will come to your doorstep. Do not just expect that, if you destroy all the AI industry, do not expect if you destroy the AI industry that somehow it automatically means customers will now come back to you. That's not how it works. You still have to find a way to bring customers to you. There are many people who prefer hand-drawn art or art drawn by people over art drawn by AI. People prefer that more because AI is too rigid. AI, even if you give an AI prompt, you may not get exactly the image you want. But if you deal with a human being, right? The human can create exactly what you want. You can change exactly, everything you want perfectly if you deal with a human being. Your industry hasn't been deleted from the world. They're still there. There's still people who buy lanterns till this day, regular lanterns. There's still people who prefer stone tools over electrical tools till this day. There's still people who drive horse-drawn carriages till this day. There's still people who play classical music till this day, who listen to classical music till this day. Even the newer classical music. Yes, there's still new classical music. There's still artists creating new classical music till this day. They haven't gone bankrupt yet. They're still making a good wage. Stop thinking your whole industry will go bankrupt. It's not. It is not. You just have to change with the times. You just have to get good at marketing. If you're not good at marketing your business, it's on you. Stop blaming AI for your problems. You are the problem, not AI. Not everyone likes using AI images. Not everyone likes using AI music. Not everyone likes listening to AI music. They don't like the way it sounds. Not everyone likes, using AI websites and, the whole AI industry. So it's too complicated for many people. Not many people know how to use AI. not many people know how to use AI, so they just prefer just talking to a normal person. That's their mindset. The many people of age, older people, younger people, just people of all ages who just don't like using AI whatsoever, or they feel like the whole AI, thing is too convoluted for them. It's too complicated for them. They just rather use regular, people to do their job for them. So your business isn't going bankrupt because of AI. Stop blaming AI for your problems. It's not AI, it's you. If you're not good at what you're doing, you're not good at what you're doing. AI won't make you good at what you're doing, and AI won't take your business from you. If you're bad at your job, you're bad at your job. 90% of all businesses fail. That was before AI was invented. 90% of all businesses fail. So stop blaming AI for your business failing. It's not AI's fault that 90% of all businesses fail. All businesses failed way before AI, came about. And 90% of all businesses will fail even after AI. You're the bad business owner. Stop blaming AI for your problems. It's on you to make your life better. The world, doesn't have to make your life better for you. The world doesn't, it's not the world's job to make your life better. It's not the world's job to make your future better. It's you. It's your job to make your life better. It's your job to make your future better. Stop blaming AI for your problems. It's not AI's fault. It's your fault. That's it for today's podcast. I know many won't agree, but, it's fine if you don't agree with me. I really don't care, But I'm just letting you know, do not blame AI for your problems. It's not AI's fault that 90% of our businesses fail. The businesses fail way before AI came about, and business will still continue to fail even after AI comes about. And that's how life works, That's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.